Welcome to Behind the Deal, the podcast where we go behind the transaction and talk about marketing,
technology,
relationships,
and strategies that actually drive business growth.
The deal is just the beginning. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Behind the Deal. I'm Allison.
And I'm Kendall.
Can you tell? Okay, so this episode is not sponsored by Alani. We do have our Alanis here today, but we just wanted something to keep us going and
energized.
Yeah, it's late in the afternoon for us today on a Friday, so we're really just
gearing up for the weekend.
That's it. The people who are making the most money aren't necessarily the ones who are selling more. They're the ones who are finding more opportunity inside the relationships that they already have.
All right, so AI is taking our jobs, and I'm excited, not working, not making money.
Oh, yeah, I love not being able to eat and have a roof over my head. No, but seriously, AI is changing the way that we work, and today we're going to talk about it a little bit more and what's important about it and the tools and how to utilize them and really how to make more money by utilizing AI.
Yeah, it can be a good tool, but also it's hard to stand out in this oversaturated world of AI right now, which we'll talk a little bit more about later, so stick around.
So because we have merchant stories and merchant spotlights that we've done quite often, we did one last year with a local merchant, and it was a story that I felt was great for this episode and something that we could talk about that might resonate with reps in the industry and with other ISOs. So when we went to one of our local merchants, and it was a jewelry shop. Oh
my favorite.
Yeah, sorry, I can't talk today. Jewelry. And we went in there and we were just talking about their business. And she said that whenever they signed up with us for processing, that, it was great, but she wanted a new terminal. So right before COVID, she got a new terminal and it was great. And then, boom, not even a month later, COVID hits. And so here she is with this really nice POS, and she's like, what am I going to do?
Yeah, no customers. Nobody's buying anything because they don't want to go into the store.
Right. Well, it was right after they had put that ban in where businesses had to be closed. Like you couldn't go into, and it was a retail. It's jewelry.
How are you going to make money if people aren't buying from you?
Right. So what our rep did for that merchant is they went in there and they were talking to him and said like, okay, well, do you have a website? They did, but it wasn't up to date, really. It wasn't ready for COVID, really. The COVID shoppers, everybody who has that STEMI money, they were ready to spend it. On jewelry too, hey, But she got a new website and she was really excited about that because that gave her the opportunity to sell to customers all over the world, not just in our market, in our area.
Yeah, so that probably helped her not only during COVID because obviously she couldn't sell to people in store, but also probably surpassed her expectations because now she can sell to outside her local market.
Yeah, exactly. And she said when we did her merchant spotlight that not only was it great that she did that then because it helped keep their doors open for after COVID and she was able to make quite a lot of business doing that, but it's actually made their sales skyrocket since then because they have the ability to check out online and they'll ship anywhere in the country.
I do have a guilty pleasure of scrolling specifically jewelry websites.
Yeah.
But if I didn't live in an area, I'm still going and looking on those websites, and if I can order it, I will.
Oh yeah, it's so much more convenient versus having to go anywhere. We talked about this in our last episode. Convenience is key.
Oh, yeah.
And in our society today, everybody wants it to be easier and on their time. And so the fact that that rep was able to recognize that they needed this solution for them to make more money was a big thing. So on touching on that, this whole episode and Behind the Deal, we want to give you tools about how to make more money, how to be successful in this industry, but not only sell merchant services, but also sell other products.
Yeah, where are those ads and how can you get in there to add extra services on?
Right, so that's where it kind of touches on here, where have you seen that opportunity? Do you have merchants that only do merchant with you? Are they only doing processing with you? Is there an opportunity where you could maybe sell them payroll, for example, or a website? all within that existing merchant. Increase your residuals by adding on more products with that existing merchant versus trying to search for the next new merchant and struggling.
Yeah, cold calling and cold calling and cold calling. When you already have those relationships established, why wouldn't you? Right. And what's the worst that they could say? We don't need that right now. But like a website, what do you ask them? Like, do you want to make more money? Nobody's going to say no to that, and a website's only going to do that for you.
Yeah, it's only going to increase their sales, so your merchant's happy. It also increases that stickiness with that merchant. So they're using you for processing, and now they're using you for your website design and web payments. That's, a very sticky merchant.
That's some super glue right there.
Yeah, like they want to stay with you because they have all those resources. Having to change that and switch it up is just a big headache.
I mean, I'm going on and on here, but like say you grow their business by adding that website, well, maybe they need to add employees. So then they might want to add payroll in the future. So just growing and growing from there.
Exactly. So that's just a quick little story to tell you how to make a little bit more money with the existing merchants that you have. And that's a real story. I mean, someone that we went and talked to last year, a local company, and they're still thriving and they're still utilizing us for processing and website, and they love it. They like the ability to be able to go in there and change their inventory quickly, but then also being able to get next day funding, which is huge.
Yeah. I was thinking about this when we were talking earlier, but they aren't only open from 8 to 5 anymore.
Yeah.
They're open 24/7.
Yeah. That's such a good point. I didn't realize that, but when you have that ability for retail shops, especially when they have the website, you can shop on your own time. Make it convenient.
And when are you shopping the most?
Oh, girl, it's always when I'm in bed at 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Me too.
Okay. So let's move on a little bit. We're going to do like our little AI touch. We need to come up with some sort of, I don't know, AI moment.
Boom, boom. AI. I'm just kidding.
So you could joke about it all day and say that AI is going to take your job and that it can write all the emails and do everything for you. But really, AI is not a person. And we have to remember that AI doesn't have the qualities that you have as a person.
Yeah. I mean, people want to buy from people. I was talking with a friend and we were talking about, can AI take over our jobs? And she was saying, I think that they could take over marketing. And first I was a little like
taken back by it.
Yeah, but I disagree with that. Not just because I'm in marketing, but people don't want to watch a robot all day.
No.
They want to be in that genuine connection. And same thing with sales. People want to buy from people. Like if I'm getting a robotic call, I'm going to hang up.
Right.
So
right.
I think we're in the safe.
I think AI is just there to help us essentially. But with that being said, AI can increase things that we're trying to accomplish quicker. So say that we're trying to finish a project and we're stuck at a point and we need like an idea to help us keep it flowing. That's a great example to prompt AI of how can I keep this project going, or how can I help this keep me on task, or something along those lines.
Or bounce ideas off of that.
Yeah. Essentially, it's going to eliminate time from your day, which gives you more time in your day to do more. So that's an example for you as a rep in the industry, or if you are an ISO and you're running a business. How is AI going to help you utilize it for more beneficial factors versus superficial factors?
Yeah, the background work to help you do that stuff faster.
Yeah.
Because then you can be talking to people more while AI is helping you, I don't know, write an email. But of course, you're going to put your touch on that because going back to the point, people want to talk to people. So,
yeah. So just a quick, helpful tool is utilize AI in an appropriate way. Don't lose yourself, and remember that people like to deal with people. And
back in my day, back in my college day,
back in your day, she acts like time's marching on.
But I was taught that you cannot use AI. It's not good. You shouldn't do it. And so I came into the industry not using AI. And I've talked to a couple friends and they felt the same way. But it is a tool. And I wish that I would have learned how to use it earlier to be a tool. Obviously, I've progressed and I use it all the time to help me, but some people look at it as a negative, but it's not always a negative. Yeah, it can get there though.
Use it as a helpful tool versus replacing who you are. I think that the trend that I'm seeing with AI is people are relying on it more and more, which that's fine to rely on it for something that's going to, progress what you're trying to accomplish, but don't let it do everything for you.
Yeah.
Also, you don't want it to lose that authentic factor of who you are, especially in sales. People like to deal with people. They're not trying to deal with a robot. If they ask you a question, they want you to be able to answer it, especially when it comes to our industry. And say that a restaurant's POS went down during, busy bar night on Friday night. Yeah. They're not going to call AI and talk to them. They want a person. They want them there
right
ASAP
here,
to
right
fix
now.
it. Yeah.
This is kind of going slightly off topic, but have you ever called like Apple support, for example? I called Apple the other day and it kept prompting me with a robot, and the problem that I had was not an option, and I was like, please just let me talk to a person.
Zero.
If I was talking to a person, I know that they would have understood what I was trying to ask.
Yeah.
But that robot, man, it just wasn't getting it.
Yeah.
And then it makes you mad, and then it turns me away from the company.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, sometimes we don't agree on everything, but that I do agree on. I will say though, with AI, I don't want to touch on this too much because it can be redundant, but just remember, be who you are. If you get anything from what we just said, utilize that extra time to make either more calls or go prospect more merchants, or the existing merchants that you have. Go talk to them about other products that you could maybe upsell them or push in that maybe they're not utilizing. Who wouldn't like to have more of that one person contact for multiple solutions versus 10 contacts for all of these different things and forget who you're calling because of everything they need? I mean, I know that if I had payroll, digital, merchant, bookkeeping, the list goes on, all at one place, I would definitely just want to talk to one person versus every
here, there,
Tom.
I know where you're going with that one.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So since we are in marketing, we do like to talk about a good, quick marketing minute. So stop saying that you need marketing. Ask them how you are currently getting new customers. So when you are talking to merchants, that's just a thing that as marketers we hear often, make it look pretty, or I mean, that's the big one, make it look pretty. Yeah. That kills me sometimes because it's no, that's not all we do. We're helping get customers. We're really that first point when it comes to sales. We're what makes either that customer, that business attracted to the brand. So do that as, what am I trying to say here? I would say if you're a rep, think of it as how are you going to benefit that customer when they're talking, or that merchant, by saying, how are you getting new customers? You want to know how they're generating more leads versus, just marketing.
What I've heard from some reps here is people say word of mouth, but that can only get you so far.
I would say too, whenever you ask that question, how you're getting more customers, and they start talking, if they want to tell you, stop what you're doing. Listen. Absolutely. Literally take it in, because that's your one shot to hear what they're doing and what you can help them with. They might say, like you said, word of mouth, but they could also say, oh, well, I get a ton of traffic on my website. Oh, great. That's good to know their website's working well. What can you help them with to help upsell what they're already doing? Yeah. I mean, no business owner is going to say, oh, I'm good with the customers that I have. I don't need any more. I don't want more business. That's very unlikely going to happen. Everybody wants more.
Absolutely.
Business owners want to be successful.
Yeah, and keep growing their business. On that topic of websites, tell people to check their Google profile. If they're showing up on Google and they have inconsistent listings, that could hinder their business. And there's a business here locally that we've been doing business with. Their phone number's wrong on one of them, and I called that phone number, and it was a different business with the same name.
Oh, wow.
So making sure those are accurate, popping up. A tip that I've heard is make sure you're in incognito mode, because if you're at your business all the time, it's going to target your business to you. So if you're in incognito mode, then it'll be showing you the authentic results.
Yeah, and speaking on that, when you're a business owner, it is a lot to keep track of, to pay attention to all of your analytics on your own. You really do need a team to help support you. So that's something that when you're talking to merchants, just listen to them and see what they're saying. They might not even have a Google profile. It might be something that's authentic or authentically generated from Google, and it could be totally incorrect.
Yeah.
You could search ChatGPT for a business and ask their phone number, and it might give you one phone number. I'll say, oh, well, here's the 12 phone numbers that it's listed.
Yeah.
It's getting that from Bing. It's getting it from Google. It's getting it from their Facebook.
And I feel like a business owner wouldn't think about Bing and Yahoo and ChatGPT.
Yelp.
Those are on top of mind when I'm starting a business. Everybody always does business with Google. So
right. Even touching on when I just said Yelp, it sparked a little, light bulb in my head. But on my phone, I have an Apple, and whenever I'm searching restaurants on Maps, the reviews that pop up,
I have seen that. That's a new thing.
It's only Yelp, though. It's not Google or anything else. And
so you want to make sure you're popping up on there.
Yeah, but I mean, where we live, Yelp really is not a thing.
I agree.
I mean, okay, you wrote a Yelp review. It just seems so old, but that is what generates on Apple. So that's something else that if you're pushing digital products, making sure that their review and their review management and their Google listings are all consistent, because it's only going to help them. And if you're helping them with their review management or websites or SEO, you name it, your residuals go up as well.
Help them help you.
That's it. So let's talk about social media. When it comes to posting, I've seen, like, over the years, sometimes people will just post a post, or you'll see them post like 5 times a day.
I think some people think the more you post,
the better it's going to be.
The more people are going to see.
And that's so far from the truth. Maybe back in the day, that's how it was. But social media has gotten smarter with AI. Yeah. It has built an algorithm. It knows what it wants to show you. It knows whose content you want to see. So I would recommend creating a strategy before posting. And this is for your personal brand too. So if you're a rep out there and you're looking for new merchants in, I don't know, restaurants, or you're looking for new merchants in retail, and you want to kind of resonate with them when you're posting, think about what you're posting beforehand. So if they look at your page, it's going to be like, oh, they know exactly what they're talking about. They deal with people like me all the time. I'm going to want to do business with them.
Yeah, be relatable. And that tying back into AI, you don't want it to just be AI things all the time. You want to be relatable to people, so they're seeing that you're working with people like them.
And again, this goes back to what we talked about in our last episode, but it builds that trust. You're building that trust by who you are. People like real people. Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Be yourself. Okay, so if AI saves you 5 hours a week, what are you doing with those 5 hours?
Where's the money?
I mean, it's all up to you. So if you have extra time, make sure that you're utilizing it to not only help yourself, but help your merchants, help your ISO, your team.
Yep. That time that you could be spending doing those little minute tasks, like we said earlier, you could be calling, you could be making those connections in real life.
So also take from this episode that you don't always need a new merchant. I think that that's something that was pushed more in the earlier days. I was going to say olden days, but it ain't that old, the earlier days of processing. Think of it as go back to your books, look at the merchants that you have now. Okay. If you haven't talked to that merchant really in probably 6 months, reach out to them.
What if they have a problem? Touch in with them.
Yeah.
There might be something there that they need.
They might have a super outdated terminal, and you just kind of like let it go because you're like, yeah, I'm still getting the residuals at the end of the month. Be, approachable?
Yeah, authentic.
Yeah, just be yourself again. Like, they want to know who they are talking to, and if they're reaching out consistently, if they have a problem, they know that they're going to be able to talk to you. But if you also bring up the other solutions that you could sell to them, such as payroll or website design or SEO, bookkeeping, the list goes on. If you talk about all of that ahead of time, when they do need that service, and if you are regularly in touch with them, they're going to remember, oh, yeah, I remember talking to Allison about that. I'm going to reach out to her because she does have that solution. I really, really need that now that I have 5 employees.
If I was a business owner and my rep reached out to me, that would mean a lot too, if it was just a check-in, because then I know that they're available and able to contact.
Right.
Puts you at the top of their mind too.
Yeah, and that's what you want. So from this episode, I hope you learned a little bit of how to make some money. You don't always need another merchant. Sometimes you need to go deeper with the merchants that you already have. The best salespeople don't always sell product. They solve problems. Remember, there's always more money behind the deal.
Thanks.